Hello everyone, Adwins again with another anime review. Another very late one. Today we'll be talking about episodes 10 and 11. And I know I keep saying this, but hopefully this will be a little shorter than the last one. So let's just get started. Episode 10 starts off with, well, I guess I'll call them metaphor scenes because they're not really happening, but they're full of symbolism, so that's what I'll call them. But this opening scene is a metaphor for basically the end of Sana's arc, or at least something leading up to it. Like, she wakes up as if she had a dream of a perfect family with parents who loved her and cared for her, but that dream falls apart, like this doll here. For what it's worth, I think this scene was almost perfectly crafted. Like, the orchestral rendition of Repeat Days was absolutely beautiful, gave me Kingdom Hearts vibes, which I know is kind of weird, but I like Kingdom Hearts, so anyway. And the visuals, making it look like an oil painting, absolutely perfect. It was just beautiful. And it all comes together to represent Sana's feelings at the very moment, which, it's pretty sad, especially since Sana, starts to wear black at the very end of it. And we are taken back to reality where Sana is still coming to terms with the fact that Ai is dying, but Ai reassures that they will be together, and, well, that's that. Now, her story isn't necessarily over yet, but there's still other things to take care of, like getting the hell out of this endless solitude. Luckily, Yachio and the crew are working on doing that, but then Tsuruno finds a button and... And just like that, Iroha and Sana are back in the real world. But Alina follows them and, oh, she's angry now because you broke her stuff and now she's gonna kill you. She's not nearly as fun or interesting as she was in the other episode. Like, she clearly didn't give a fuck in that one. And here, and I guess they try to make her out to be a psychopath, like, oh, now that she's getting serious, she's getting serious. But I feel like that really takes away from the kind of fun that she was having in the previous episode. And honestly, she rarely backs up this whole getting serious thing because, sure, she kind of six of the same witch at the team, but they're dealt with pretty quickly, and the next best thing for Alina to do to threaten them, it's promptly interrupted by Mami. Oh, and before I forget to mention this, flap, flap, flap. Anyway, Mami reveals that she's now part of the Wings of Magius, which is an interesting development, but other than that, she really does nothing, and everyone goes home. So, what was the purpose of the scene? Well, they definitely needed to get Sana and Iroha out of the endless solitude. That was accomplished, and we had to figure out that Mami was now part of the Magius, which we did too. And admittedly, that is one of the more important parts of this scene. We had already gotten a sense that the Magius were kind of everywhere in Kamihama, and with Mami as such an iconic character in the Madoka series, it goes to show how influential the Magius are to recruit one of our old heroes. Though it's kind of funny, in the game, when it's revealed that Mami was a part of the Magius, she was in her Christmas unit form. Yeah, kinda glad that they didn't do that here. Anyway, with the Magius making their escape once again, half the episode's already over. Wow. I noticed that these episodes seem to go by a lot faster than you'd think they would, no matter what's going on, whether it's a very eventful episode or a non-eventful episode. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it's an observation. Maybe it's just because I don't watch a lot of anime and I'm not used to watching 22-minute episodes anymore. So the rest of the episode is dedicated to Sana settling in her home at the Mikatsuki Villa. We're reminded that magical girls can go past Sana's invisibility cloak, but even after moving in, and with all the warm welcomes, she still doesn't feel at home. Tsuruno makes the very smart observation that the tenants are more like a family than, well, just tenants, and this gives Sana the weird idea to check on her old family. Now, when she reaches her home, everything's so weird. Like, I'm not sure if this is just another metaphor scene or if this is reality. It only reinforces the theory I had in the last video that everything Sana is thinking, everything we're seeing is just in her head. She's probably blowing what she's hearing out of proportion and misinterpreting it. Like, seriously, it doesn't help that the only time we see her family is in this weird art piece. And now, I get that they had to censor their eyes, but everything else about it is just so clean and pristine. It's uncanny, and I'm sure that's symbolic of like the perfect Futaba family, but still, it just reinforces that this isn't real. But with the confirmation that her old family is doing just fine without her, she leaves the Futaba house for good with her head hanging low. But after some thinking, she quickly perks up, realizing that her new home, she just has a new home where people care enough about her to call her by her name. Even better, when she actually gets home, she's invited to play video games with Felicia and Tsuruno, kind of showing that they're willing to accept her. And then Sana offers to take up cooking duty in the house, showing that this is a family she wants to take in a more active role in. As she finally cuts ties with her old family and moves on, the episode ends. Another example of this episode going way faster than I thought. But I thought it was a really strong ender for Sana's arc, mainly because it offered some closure. Sana had made the decision to stay with Yachio and the others, but if it had just ended there, we would just be wondering, well, what happened to the rest of her family? Why wouldn't she just go back and check to see if what she was thinking was really real? And, well, she does that, so yay! But that leads us into episode 11, where we start off with Sana revealing that she actually heard of one of the kids in the hospital flashback scenes, more specifically Nemu Hiragi. In case you forgot, she's the one with the glasses. Everyone then gets worried because they assume that the Magias had kidnapped her or are using her, and while they scramble for a solution to find her, Iroha actually comes up with an idea of her own, as in a previous episode, she saw one of the Magias without her robes, and recognized the school uniform and used that to track her down. I did always find it interesting that magical girls don't really try to hide their identities from each other. Like, if enemies are made in the magical girl community, what's stopping them from confronting each other in their normal lives, other than like, they don't want to have a magical battle at school or whatever. But I guess we have our answer here. Nothing stops them. And it's just so stupid and hilarious how Tsukuyo tries to sneak past Iroha and claims she's not Tsukuyo, she just happens to have the same first name. And I mean, to Tsukuyo's credit, the fake last name she gave is the last name she uses in real life to kind of hide her connection to the Inmane family. But she wasn't fooling nobody with that. Anyway, Iroha takes her to a secondary location. Yeah, I put it that way. That is exactly what she did. And she actually acted kind of sinister. Like, she explains that I'm doing this to find my sister, and you have a sister who you're pretty close with, aren't you? And she threatens to reveal Tsukuyo's identity to Yachio and her friends, and she even threatens like, oh, if I don't come home safely, well, like, seriously, Iroha was so good in these opening scenes. Like, this is the first time they actually had her do something other than observe. Most of the time, she's just kind of on the sidelines. We don't even really care about her finding her sister. But with the little nugget of information that she has, she takes matters into her own hands. Like, she doesn't even tell the others she's doing this. She just goes and does it. And, it's kind of a meme that the Amane sisters are kind of stupid, but I think Iroha was just really effective in manipulating Tsukuyo to get her what she wanted. So, Iroha being adorable as fuck, but also having a slightly cruel side, A+, more Mafia Boss Iroha, please. Though I have a feeling this is the only time she'll really do that kind of stuff. With all that resolved, Iroha goes home, and Sana proposes that they go out and buy coasters for the mugs that were bought for them in the last episode. Kind of like a token of appreciation for Yachio for taking them all in. Oh, by the way, Yachio bought them all thematic mugs to use in the house. Oh, they're so cute, but then the mug emporium was weird. Why do you have, like, floors and floors of mugs? Anyway, they go to a relatively normal store that does not have stories and stories of coasters, and find an equally adorable set of them that also coincidentally match their color schemes. But then, a witch appears! Oh, and it's Gertrude! Oh man, that's gonna be awesome! And then the fight's over. Well, the show obviously didn't really care about that fight, so I'm not going to either. So while they're waiting for Yachio to come home to surprise her with the coasters, Mifuyu shows up. And I really liked how the scene started off because despite her smile, well, honestly, probably because of the smile, everything just seemed more ominous and awkward. And the music choice here was really good too. But yeah, she waltzes on in like she owns the place and kind of memes on Iroha saying, "Man, you think you're so special? Well, I was special before you were special." "Oh, is this mug yours, Iroha? Oh, I knew it was yours the first moment I saw it, 'cause it's boring and shit!" "Yachio is my girlfriend!" Oh, look, Yachio's here. And Mifuyu, proceeds to taunt her for having new friends? Yachio started out as being sort of an ice queen, you know? And now that she's finally warmed up to her friends, Mifuyu comes and tries to stomp all over those feelings she's got. And in doing so, Yachio kind of reverts back to that ice queen-ness and brushes off her friends as merely tenants. And satisfied by accomplishing what she set out to do, which was totally to recruit them into the Magius and not to shit all over Yachio and Iroha, Mifuyu leaves with that damn smug smile on her face, that fucking manipulating bitch, I fucking hate her! But seriously, that was actually kind of an amazing scene. I'm normally not really into the whole, high school drama bullshit, but here, I think it was executed pretty well. Mifuyu definitely took advantage of the situation to push everyone's buttons, and she knew exactly what to press. We saw a little bit in the previous episode that Mifuyu does regret not being with Yachio's team, so I guess her smugness here is kind of like a compensation for it. And don't get me wrong, I hate this kind of behavior, but I still think it was awesome to watch. Especially since not a lot was really happening before, or at least nothing like this. This was pretty intense because this was kind of a different challenge than we're used to seeing with these girls. Normally we see them, trying to investigate the rumors, or fighting the Magius or the rumors, but no, some interpersonal drama really was surprisingly refreshing. And it wasn't even over anything stupid like, "Oh, you ate the last donut! I'm gonna run away! You don't love me!" But no, this builds off of Yachio's backstory, which I promise we're gonna get to eventually. Please, just stick with her for a little while longer. But yeah, this is good drama. I think it's good drama anyway. And honestly, that really carries the entire episode. It's almost kind of disappointing that the series is gonna end soon. Well, not the series ending, the season will end soon. We've gotten confirmation that we're only going to be 12 or 13 episodes, but I kind of wish the season had a little bit more time to develop this kind of drama, these kinds of personal stakes. I would have appreciated that a lot more considering what we have, or more, shall I say, what we haven't been dealing with up till now. But anyway, Yachio reverts to her old cold self, going all, "Go to the lecture if you want to, I don't care. Don't eat dinner with me, I'm gonna be going to work. I'm reading a magazine of my own photo shoots because I like it." No, seriously, they need to address Yachio's modeling career a little bit more in the series, because, it actually shows us that she has a life. Remember the grocery store scene? Where are the rest of those? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. The point is they find the memory museum where the recruitment is supposed to take place. QB appears and does nothing as usual, and to top it all off, we finally meet one of the leaders of the Magius, the lovely, the intelligent, Toka Satomi. She was holding this pose for hours. She was worried they wouldn't show up. But anyway, the memory museum has some interesting stuff going on, so I cannot wait to watch it with the others. In a few hours, because the episode's already out and it's midnight when I'm recording this. Yay! Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time as we conclude the first season of Magia Record. Or maybe not, because there might be a 13th episode.